Hello and welcome to Sweet Home California. My name is Jennifer and today I'm going to make ghee. I first heard about ghee watching the Alaska Prepper channel and he just made it look so easy, but that was a long time ago at this point, maybe, I don't know, 6 months, a year, and I hadn't made the ghee yet. I've already started dehydrating food, I've started canning food, but turning regular butter into ghee is something that I hadn't done yet. And then when I interviewed him, kind of talked about it again, and I'm like, all right, I need to get started on this. It really isn't that difficult. And so why make a video on making ghee when obviously there are other videos on making ghee? Well, because I'm affected by the number of times I see something. I think in advertising they say you need to see something at least 3 times before it even registers that you saw it. You have to say a person's name at least 3 times before it kind of sinks into your brain. So I'm hoping that by seeing another video, maybe you already saw Alaska Prepper's video and you're like, well, he's got 100,000 followers. He knows what he's doing. This is really not as easy as what he makes it seem. Well, this is the very first time I'm making it. So let's get started and hopefully it will turn out great and it will be an encouragement to you. I've already washed my hands. I'm taking, these are just a couple that were opened up already. But I want to make it all the same brand because I got a couple different brands of butter and I get it on sale. This is Lucerne. I got this at Albertsons, local Albertsons here. And then I got a whole bunch of this. This is from Winco. And then I got some organic butter. So anyhow, I figure, when I am going to start doing something, I kind of go all in on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. And I'm going to have it on low. You do not want to burn it. Though I had read in some people's blog posts that, if you cook it too much, it'll just be like brown ghee instead of a nice golden ghee, and it tastes a little different. It tastes more like toffee. But the person who I was reading about doing that, she said that she's glad that she kept it because it had a different taste to it, but it was a good taste. So it sounds like it's something, and that was encouraging to me because it sounds then like it's something that I can't mess up too much. Because butter is going up in price. I think the Lucerne now, the normal price is like $3.99 to $4.99. I got it on sale. I've only been buying butter on sale. And that's the one good thing about Albertsons is that they often have sales. So, whatever the asking price of something is, I generally wind up going out the store at about half of what the marked price is. And then you go to Winco, and the Winco prices are definitely better than Albertsons, but then they don't have as many individual sales. The prices, but the prices. This is quickly melting. I don't know if you can see inside there. Show that to you. See, if I had more equipment, I could have like a camera above here and I could do like a split screen thing. But anyhow, haven't made anything on YouTube yet. However, good news. I have received notification that I had enough watch hours and I have enough subscribers that I can now be monetized. I'm not sure exactly what that will mean for your viewing pleasure, but let me know in the comments if you notice anything different, because I have opted to do the monetization because I enjoy doing this, but I do have to contribute to the family income. And so what I normally do is I do wood signs and things, and I do want to make a channel on that also, because honestly I think people would be interested in that. But this has kind of been a little more important because the whole don't know what is going on with the price of groceries. Everything is going up and up and up. So preserving food is really important, and I just don't see that as, I see that more as a fit for this channel than I do, which is primarily politics. But I think prepping is politics. It's world events, right? And your need to prepare has nothing to do with what you can control. It's often what other people are doing. And you, as just being an individual, all you can do is take care of your own little quarter acre, half acre, 2 acres, whatever plot of land you have, 1,000 square feet in an apartment. Just make sure that you and yours are prepared, and you can weather a lot more. You can be a lot more free to make decisions based on where you want to live, who you want to vote for, what you want to buy, all those things. You have a lot more freedom when you don't have debt, when you've got a fully stocked pantry. Then you are a lot more free to do what you need to do to take care of your family. Okay, so let me show you what that looks like now. You can see there are some, a little bit of foam. I'm told that is the moisture escaping, because there is a lot of moisture in butter. And what we want to do is we want to get rid of all the solids, and we want to get rid of that foam. I'm told that once all that is melted, several times throughout this, I will be scooping that out and dumping it. And then as everything else is melting, it's supposed to settle to the bottom. And then we'll put it in through like a coffee filter, which I hear is better than using cheesecloth. If you had several layers of cheesecloth, that will work too. But you don't want to have any of the solids. It's just going to be a clear oil. And the benefits of ghee is that it's supposed to be healthier for you. It's considered more of a non-dairy, even though butter originally comes from cows. It is tolerated by people who are dairy intolerant. It can keep on a shelf for well over a year, perhaps even longer. Doesn't need refrigeration. Doesn't even need refrigeration after it's been opened. It doesn't need to be pressure canned. So once we've gone through all of this and everything, it's going to be warm. I'm going to put them into my mason jars, and it will form a vacuum seal, because as it cools, it will seal that. But it's not the same as pressure canning. Because with pressure canning, I would put it in a pressure can, and then it would all it would seal that way, and then not ever be exposed to the air. But I'm told that it doesn't need to be pressure canned, so I'm going to do it the way I was learning from Alaska Prepper and from some of the blogs that I was reading in preparation for this. So this is coming along nicely. Let me show you. Now, told that it should be heated for at least 20-25 minutes. I'm not sure if you really want to see every minute go by here, but on the other hand, if you don't, then you're like, well, what did she do? Was there some kind of magic step that we missed? So I'm kind of at a loss as to whether or not I should just let this go the full 25 minutes and have you watch every excruciating minute, or if I should just go ahead and hit pause right now and then welcome you back when I'm ready for the next step. Well, I want to add value for your lives here, so I made the decision. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause for right now, and I will welcome you back when it's time for the next step. But just trust, there's not anything going to be interested going on except for me kind of stirring this and making sure that nothing is staying on the bottom too long. And then we'll go from there. So anyhow, stay tuned. Hey, I am back here. We are another 5 minutes since I hit pause. So it is completely melted. It's making funny noises, but you can see beneath that foam what it looks like. So I just want to let you know where we're at right now. I'm going to hit pause again, and we'll bring you back when there's something new to show. We are 10 minutes in, and it is full on bubbling. I had it on 2 for a moment. I've just put it back down to low, but it is still bubbling, and it is making some interesting noises. But yeah, the ghee when it's finished has a very high flash point, so it's really good for baking with and frying with and just doing anything you want with. It's one of the 3 favorite fats that Alaska Prepper, when I was talking to him on a show. So he's ghee, coconut oil, and lard. So anyhow, we're going to do this, and I'm going to hit pause, and I'll bring you back in a few minutes. Okay, we're now about 15 minutes in. I am going to start taking off some of this foam. I've got a slotted spoon because I want to make sure most of the ghee stays, and I figure the foam will be a little slower in going through the slotted spoon. I don't know, I could be wrong. We'll see how it works. I'm getting stuff in there. Alright, let's try regular spoon and see if that makes a difference. I just don't want to lose the butter, you know? Have you ever, when growing up and you couldn't sleep, did your mom ever give you warm milk with butter in it? This is what that smells like. I just smell the buttery goodness. And this would taste good on some popcorn. It's very, very hot. You don't want to. I'm not using any sort of plastics right now, just because you know, butter does have such a high flash point that I don't know really how hot this is, but I certainly wouldn't want to touch it, and you know, plastics can melt, so I wouldn't recommend using any sort of plastics. I'm going to use a steel colander with some coffee filters in there, and I'm going to have it go directly into a glass pitcher. And it's still bubbling a lot. Now, I was watching a video on rendering lard, and it said that bubbling is all the moisture. That once you only have the oil remaining, or in that particular case it was, you know, the lard, once you have only the lard remaining, then it doesn't bubble anymore. So I don't recall exactly what Alaska Prepper said is when you're done. He had done only, I think, 16 ounces, and he said it took him about 15 minutes. There was another blog I was reading, and she said, you know, to get like, you know, 2 packages, 16 ounces, so it was like 32 ounces of butter that she was doing at once, and that it took 20 to 25 minutes. Well, I've got more than both of them. So I figure we should probably do this at least 30 minutes, and then we'll see what happens with the boiling, see if that slows down as that moisture is boiled out. But I still have there's a lot of foam in here still. So here's the foam that I've collected, and I'll show you after that much work how much is left in there. But I'm going to go ahead and hit pause, and I'll bring you back in a little bit. Okay, we're now about 25 minutes in. I graduated to a larger spoon, and I wasn't so concerned about making sure I had every bit of butter remaining in there. So you can see I do have some butter in here. I am going to try and strain it and see if I can introduce any of that butter back into the ghee and keeping the foam out. So I'm going to try that next. But I wanted to show you first what it looks like in the pot right now. So it is still bubbling rather furiously, so I think that means it still has some time to go. That still has a lot of moisture in there, and that's what we want to get rid of. We want to get rid of all that moisture as well as all the solids in there. So we'll let that continue on, and I'm going to show you, see if this works. Again, first time doing it, so you get to see with me if this works. So here's my setup. Glass, metal, coffee filters in there. And we'll see how this works. So looks like that's going to take a little while to get through. So we'll get back to that. Check in with you again in a little bit. Okay, back on. We're about 30 minutes in now. So this is what it looks like. There are some milk solids at the bottom. That's normal. Just a little bit of foam on the top, and we don't have that boiling so much anymore. So the moisture is mostly gone, but I'm told that that's normal. So let's see what we did over here. Well, I'm going to say that it probably wasn't a good idea to use the coffee filter. I think that is just a little too tight for that stuff to go through. So they do say you need to strain it, but I am going to go ahead and strain it with the cheesecloth. So let me get that set up and I'll be right back. Trying to strain that little bit, that the foam that I got off, really wasn't worth it. There's a little bit in there, but I got a lot of milk fats in there again too. So I'm just going to make that go away, and I will strain the large amount of ghee that I've got. Okay, I've set this up as such. So I changed it out to a bigger strainer and a bigger bowl, just so it has more surface area for all that to get poured into. And I don't know, we'll go ahead and try that. Get rid of the other milk fats. All right, and now I'm going to get the pot full of ghee. Now, one of the things that I saw in the directions was that you want to have a big enough pot, and it needs to be heavy. You want a thick bottom, and so that's what I got here. So I could have put more ghee in it. But I wanted to keep with just that particular one brand because I want to try it out with different brands and see if there's any difference. And then there are milk solids at the bottom of this, which I understand there are things that you can do with that as well. I'll look that up and I'll put it in the description below. But I think it's really good with making vegetables. So, health benefits, there are a lot of vitamin E, D, and K, and omega-3s in ghee. So this is what we've got left at the bottom there, the milk solids, and I will put down in the description what I found out we can do with that. All right, so that seemed to go through pretty well. So here's what we got. Looks pretty clear there. And went through the cheesecloth pretty quick. Just stick that on top of here. Keep my counters from getting too oily. All right, next step is we're going to go ahead and put them in my containers. So these are pint, I believe. But they're wide mouth, so I think it's like a pint and a half. Has a marking on there for a cup. So here's the 8 ounces, and then 16 ounces up here. So that's a quart, a pint, right? Pint is 16 ounces, right? Okay. All right, I am going to use some plastic here. That's still very hot, but I think it'll be okay. I have a thermometer gauge here, and it tells me tells me we are at about 219 degrees right now. Wow, that's pretty hot. So for the most part, I'm not even touching the plastic. That's just to keep the top. The edges from getting fat on it, so it'll seal. How much do we have here? We only have about 8 ounces left. So let me see if I can find a half a pint. Hold on. Okay, got a half pint, 8 ounces. I'm gonna stick that in there. All right. I'm gonna wipe that off with vinegar just to make sure I don't have any fats around the edges. And because this is supposed to be shelf stable, I'm not sure how important that is, but I am going to try this little pint out first. That'll be my taste tester. And then I'm gonna put the lids on these other two here. These are brand new lids. Hadn't been used before. My understanding is you're supposed to soften them up with hot water. Since I'm not pressure canning, I heard that you don't have to do it with pressure canning, but because it gets so hot anyway that it's going to get warm enough. But since these are not going to be pressure canned, I kind of want to make sure that they're going to seal. Okay, better safe than sorry, especially for the first time I'm doing this. Hot. Okay, and regular for my half pint jar. Very hot, so I'm using a oven mitt. Okay. Got that in there finger tight. This is very exciting. All right. And Doesn't that look pretty? All right, I can't wait to taste it. I will let you know how that turns out. And then these are the full pints, and this is a half a pint. All right. So let me know down in the description below if you have tried making your own ghee and how did that turn out for you. How long have you had it in your refrigerator, in your shelf, that sort of thing. And did you even hear about ghee before you saw this video? Let me know that too. And I'll talk to you next time. God bless. Bye.